Hello, my dear bachcho. I know exams are right around the corner and the tension is building up. But please don't worry, especially about this chapter. We are going to break it down together and I promise you'll find it super simple, maybe even interesting. Are you ready? Chalo, let's start.
So, let me start by asking you a question. What are you? I mean, really, what are you? Are you just a brain sitting inside your head driving your body around like it's a car? It's a bit of a weird thought, right? Well, the writer we're talking about today, D.H. Lawrence, he has a really amazing answer to this.
You see, for a very, very long time, people have thought that the body is just a vessel, like a bottle for the really important stuff, like our mind or our soul. But Lawrence, he just looks at this whole idea and says, nope, that is completely wrong. He's here to challenge everything.
And just listen to his simple logic here. He looks at his own hand, maybe while it's writing, and he asks, why on earth would I think that this hand is nothing, that it's less important than the mind telling it what to do? My hand is alive. It has its own life. It can feel warmth and cold. It knows things just by touching them. This hand is just as much me as my brain is.
And this brings us to his main big idea. He calls it me alive. And it's so simple, Beta. Me alive just means that the real you is every single living part of you. Your hands, your skin, your hair, everything. It's all you. You are not just a mind or a soul living inside a body machine. You are the whole living, breathing thing.
Okay, so if this idea is so simple, why doesn't everybody see it this way? Well, Lawrence points his finger at 3 types of very smart people who, he says, always get this wrong. Let's think of them as the villains of his story.
First up, we have the saint or the parson. Lawrence says these people are so obsessed with talking about the soul, about heaven, about what happens after we die, that they completely forget about the actual living, feeling, breathing person who is right here, right now.
And this line is just so beautiful. He says, why are you waiting for some paradise somewhere else? Paradise is here. It's in the palm of your hand. It's on the tip of your nose. Because they are alive. Paradise is the feeling of being alive in your own body.
All right, villain number 2, the philosopher. According to Lawrence, these guys have their heads way up in the clouds. All they care about are big, abstract ideas, pure thought, pure spirit. For them, the body is just some clumsy luggage that the mind has to carry around.
And you just have to appreciate how Lawrence describes them. He says they talk as if they're not even real, physical people anymore. Like they've just evaporated into a cloud of ideas, totally disconnected from actual everyday life.
And finally, the scientist. For a scientist, a whole living person, well, that doesn't really exist. They will put you under a microscope, and they'll say, aha, you are a liver, or you are a set of chemical reactions, or you are just a bunch of glands. They see all the little parts, but they miss the big picture, the whole living you.
And here's the knockout punch. Lawrence says, look, I refuse to be called just one of these bits. I am not just a soul, or just a body, or just a mind. I am all of them together, and the whole me, the complete me alive, is so much more than any of its single parts.
So, if the religious man, the philosopher, and the scientist all fail to understand us, then who gets it right? Well, for Lawrence, there is one hero in this story. One thing that truly, deeply understands what it means to be a whole person. And that hero is the novel.
Now, to see why the novel is the hero, you have to understand these 2 states. On one side, you have man alive. This is someone who is whole, who feels everything, who is always changing and experiencing the world. You know that feeling when India wins a big cricket match? Every single part of you is buzzing with excitement? That's man alive. And on the other side, you have the dead man in life. This is someone who is just going through the motions, like a robot, not really feeling or living. And Lawrence says the novel is what saves us from becoming that dead man.
And this is why Lawrence, who is a novelist himself, believed his job was the most important one. The saint, the philosopher, the scientist, they are all masters of little bits and pieces of a person. But the novelist is interested in what he calls the whole hog. The entire, complicated, messy, amazing, living human being.
But how? How does a simple book, just pages and ink, actually do this incredible thing? What is its secret power? Well, Lawrence has a really cool way of explaining it.
So he uses this very fancy-sounding phrase,
Tremulations on the ether. Now don't get scared by the big words, it's so simple. All he means is that ideas and messages, they are like invisible vibrations. Think of it like a Wi-Fi signal or a radio wave. The signal itself isn't alive, right? It's just a message flying through the air to your phone or your radio.
But here is where the magic happens. A philosopher's idea, that's a tremulation that might only make your brain tremble. A beautiful line of poetry might only make your heart tremble. But a novel. Lawrence says a good novel sends out a special kind of vibration that can make the whole you, your brain, your heart, your body, your memories, everything, all at once, tremble with a new feeling of life. It touches every single part of you.
Okay, Butcho, now is the time to pay extra close attention. Put your thinking caps on. This next part is basically your cheat sheet for the exam. We're going to tackle the exact questions from your textbook, so you will be 100% ready.
All right, here we go. This is a very, very important question that you will almost definitely see on your paper. So let's break down the perfect answer step by step.
Okay, to get full marks on this, here's what you write. Point number 1. Say that philosophy, science, and religion are masters of only one bit of a person, the mind, or the body parts, or the soul. Point number 2. The novel is superior because it is the only thing that deals with the whole man alive, the complete person. And for your final winning point, because it deals with the whole person, it has the unique power to touch and change your entire being, not just one small part. Got it? See? So simple.
Okay, on to the next big idea we need to master, this concept of a dead man in life. What exactly is Lawrence talking about here?
Here's how you explain it perfectly. A dead man in life is someone who is just following a formula. They're like a robot, acting according to a fixed set of rules without any real, genuine feeling. And you must use the powerful examples Lawrence gives in your answer. He calls them a carcass in the street, or a piano where half the keys don't work. And what is the solution? What's the medicine? It's the novel. Reading novels helps us build an instinct for life so we never become one of those robots.
Now, we've covered all the tricky bits. So, after all of this, what is the one single idea that you must take away from this whole chapter?
It's this beautiful sentence right here. In a world full of experts and theories trying to chop us up into little pieces, the novel is the one bright thing that celebrates and understands the whole, living, breathing person. It's the one book that is truly about life itself.
And so I'll leave you with a thought. What makes you feel completely alive? It could be a book, sure, but maybe it's a movie, or a song, or a story someone told you. What is that one thing that makes you feel whole? Just think about it. Okay, that's all for me today, my dear Bakchan. You are going to do great. All the very, very best for your exams.